YouTube influencers.
Yeah. And you are listening to Play Through the Whistle. It is the 5th day of October 2022. I'm Wes, and that's it.
Never gets old.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Technical difficulties last week. Sorry, people.
Yep. You know, when the computer
week from hell.
Everything decides to
all the way around.
Just wipe out the entire show. And you got to go from scratch.
And it did.
People don't care about that. What people do care about...
They really don't care about this at all. But
No, yeah, but what people do care about is the fact
our Detroit Lions.
The Lions season is over once again before the weather changes. And yeah, it was not what I expected the season to be like. I didn't expect them to be world beaters, but I was not expecting...
It's on brand, Wes.
It is, and it sucks.
You know, the one time that they lead the league in offense, their defense is on a historic pace to
so bad.
Give up more points than anybody's ever given up in 4 games.
So bad. It's how you can make Geno Smith look like Patrick Mahomes is it's mind blowing. I know I don't want to crush Hutchinson. I don't want to crush him yet.
I will. I'll get to it.
You gotta give us just a little bit more. For being the number 2 pick, you gotta give us more. I don't want to write him off yet, but you gotta give us more.
I already have.
But
where is he, man? What's he doing? He's got 3 sacks in the first half of a game against a shitty fucking Washington team. A Washington team that hasn't really beaten anybody. Carson Wentz turned into him on 1 sack. The other sack was no gain, and then they stunted, so he didn't have to beat anybody off the ball. So he's got 1 legit sack on us. Okay. How old are we now? No, he's got 1 legit sack.
Yeah.
It was off of a stunt where he didn't have to beat any blocks. I mean, all the Hutch apologists out there, they're all saying, "Oh, he's getting chipped and blocked and doubled on every down." I'm like, well, all the good ones do. Sorry,
it's so Lions though to have the best offense in the league, and then turn around and have historically one of the worst defenses ever in the NFL. It's like our lives as fans of the Detroit Lions is that this is what happens. They can't even just be mediocre. Like if they were a middle of the road defense, this team is 3-1 or 2-2 at worst. But the fact that they're 1 it's just so disappointing.
All the offense did was go out and score 45 points without their 2 best receivers and their best running back.
Yeah.
They still found a way to put up 45 points.
That's the shining light in all of this, is that their offense is really, really good. And I knew the offense would be the better part of the team. I think everybody with a brain knew that the Lions offense was going to have to carry the team no matter what. I just don't think anybody expected the defense to be this bad. And Jeff Okudah to actually be pretty good. And the defense still be this bad. I thought, okay, if Okudah plays well, the defense should improve. But Okudah's playing well, and the defense has somehow gotten worse. I don't know. How do you, where do you go from here? As a Lions fan, or where do the coaches go from here? How do you fix this, other than firing Aaron Glenn? Future head coach Aaron Glenn.
There's so many parallels between what's going on with Michigan State and what's going on with the Lions right now. Yeah. You got linebackers that probably don't fit the scheme. You got Anzalone out there. You got Rodrigo, who's
good, but he's not.
He's good. There's a reason he was a 6th round pick. Yeah. He's not a world beater.
I'm not expecting him to be. That's not what he was. I mean,
but when
he's
the breakout star of your defense, there's going to be problems. I mean,
yeah, when your number 2 overall pick is not the breakout star.
Your number 2 overall pick shouldn't have been the number 2 overall pick.
And again,
he's a try-hard guy.
I think it's another thing that's not fair to him was was the fact that he was taken
getting paid a lot of money to
number
be
two.
Number 2 pick. That's what comes with it, man. Fair or not fair, I don't care. This ain't high school. This ain't college. This is the NFL.
True.
You got to produce. I mean, I know it's only 4 games, blah, 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 but like I said, he's non-existent, man. He gets sucked in on those play-action bootleg plays every time. Every time, man. He goes right for the running back.
And like you said, it is a lot like Michigan State, where is every week I'm expecting to see some kind of improvement, but it's actually getting worse.
Yes.
Like every week is worse. They're not getting any better. And every time it's always coach speak. Oh, well, we're going to look at the film and do this. I don't know if it's the scheme and the players. It's got to be something. Make up your mind. Make a decision. I know, and I'm giving Dan Campbell the benefit of the doubt on this, is that last year he did it with Anthony Lynn. He said, it's not working, so you're not working. But will he do it again? Because he needs to. I don't think this is working, and I don't know if they can just ride it out and hope that something clicks, because I don't know if that's going to happen.
Well, they were so bad as a whole all last year that the defense was able to make a couple of timely plays here and there, and all of a sudden everybody was on the Aaron Glenn bandwagon where, okay, Aaron Glenn, he's going to be a head coach. Well, he's going to get some
future head coach Aaron Glenn.
He's going to get some Rooney Rule interviews, but that's going to be about it, because if anybody's going to be a head coach on this staff right now, it's probably going to be Ben Johnson, and it might be next year.
Oh, God, I hope not. That would be the ultimate SOL. Would be them to have having the best offense in the league, and then they lose their OC and it all falls apart. That would be Detroit Lions.
Johnson's a smart guy. I mean, he's catering this offense to everything that Jared Goff does well, and he's leaning on that offensive line. I mean, you got Penei Sewell, who's either is about to turn 22 or turned 22 recently, but he's already a premier right tackle in this league. Got Ragnow steady as nails as your center, if he can stay healthy. And even Taylor Decker's been much improved this year. And you're doing all this, and you still don't have Jonah Jackson or Vaitai.
Well, he's not coming back. He's out for a long
Thankfully.
time. But
thankfully.
He came on last year at the end. I'm not going to... I thought at first it was one of the worst signings they've ever made, but he got better.
TJ Hawkinson finally decided to show up.
I think that was out of necessity. I don't know if that was more of like... I think that was just... They had to. They didn't have anything else to...
Yeah, who else
nowhere else to go to the ball but Hawk. So he just had a huge game. Now, it would be nice if that continued. Even when the other guys come back, if they can continue to get him the ball. But I'm still not paying him.
You know who else I'm not paying? DeAndre Swift.
I love DeAndre. I just
made it glass.
He just can't stay on the field, and that's the most important thing when you play football. Is you got to be available. And
his availability.
He just can't stay healthy, and that sucks because when he's healthy, he's awesome. And this offense goes from really good right now to amazing if he's healthy. But again, they can score 100 points, but they're going to lose 100 to 101, so it doesn't matter. They can't stop it. Seattle didn't punt. How do you not fucking force a team to punt in 2022? How is it? How do you allow Geno Smith-led team to not punt? Oh, and don't give me the refs screwed up a call on third down. They had them stopped. Well, guess what? Where's the rest of the game? How do you only get one stop then in an entire football game? They would have kicked the field goal anyway, so they still wouldn't have punted. So how do you not?
It was a rough outing for the defensive side.
It's not like they played the Chiefs or the Bills. Like on Thanksgiving, I expect the Bills not to punt. But the Seattle Seahawks, who technically are worse than you, they should be on paper, they are, but yet you couldn't get them to punt one fucking time in an entire football game. The other team didn't punt. And their quarterback wasn't Patrick Mahomes. They didn't have Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill on the other side of the fucking field. It was Geno Smith and Penny. They made Rashard Penny look like he was Eric Dickerson. It was awful. I don't even know how a team in 2022 can't force the other team to punt at least once in an entire football game.
Lions.
I don't know. Can future head coach Aaron Glenn answer that? How did your defense not force one punt? One. All I wanted was one. All you needed was one to have a chance to win the game, and you couldn't get one.
Or have a competent kicker.
They have been in almost every game this year. They played the Eagles probably tougher than anybody's played them the entire year. I know it's week 1 and the Eagles aren't a well-oiled machine at that time, but the Eagles still scored a shit ton of points. But at least
38-35.
The problem with it, you gotta get stops. I'm not asking you to be the Bears.
Like we said.
I'm not asking you to be the Bears.
They're leading the league in scoring, and they're still giving up more points than they're scoring.
I'm not asking Glenn to go out there and be Ditka with the Bears, and we're shutting everybody down and slamming them in the mouth. Can you just get 1 or 2 stops? A half. Not even you should be at least getting 1 stop a half. Well, I know in 2022 it's offense, but you still got to get stops. The other team's going to make mistakes. You're going to tell me every team's going to play clean and perfect?
Us. Nope.
Tackling sucks. They're not getting any good turnovers. The offense is great. The only thing on the offense that I'm not liking is Jared Goff's turnovers. The pick sixes and shit, not great.
No, it's not great.
Because those are possessions that the Lions can't give away.
You can't score for the.
You can't be giving away free points. As well as he's played, some of the turnovers have been shitty, and in shitty times, and for points. It's just the life of a Lions fan fucking sucks.
Always has.
So I don't know.
My life.
Are we going to go out and get zapped this weekend?
Yes.
I fear that. Because if they lose this weekend, the season's over, right? Can we say the season is definitely 100% over if they go out and lose this weekend? I mean, they're not built to roll through 5-6 wins in a row.
I already got one loss.
The schedule doesn't get easier.
I already got one division loss to Minnesota, which they should have beat, but we weren't here last week, so we didn't get to talk about that game. That was painful.
At least they punted.
I don't see us beating Rodgers and the Packers.
No, that's not happening. They're not going to beat the Packers, even though the Packers haven't been played well. They're not going to beat them.
No, but they will play well.
But Aaron Rodgers is going to come in here and become MVP Aaron Rodgers and just. They don't even have to. They can just run the ball. I don't know. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what anybody does. If you
can't get stops
on any, they can't stop the pass. They can't stop the run. They can't do anything. It's like the Seahawks took the exact thing that the Eagles did: roll out the quarterback, play action, throw it, and that doesn't work. They just handed it off, and they got chunk after chunk after. It was just all of our defensive linemen are trying to get the quarterback, and none of them can get there. Nobody's playing sound football at all. It's
just Rodrigo.
It's just disappointing. I didn't expect them to be even a playoff team, but I didn't expect them to be drafting in the top 5 again. And that's where it's looked like that's where it's headed. Is if they lose this week. Well, if they lose this week, they're what? They're going to have the worst record in the league. Does anybody have no wins? I don't even know. The Raiders won, right? No, so
the Raiders did win.
Well, the Lions are the bottom of the league now, dead last. Yay, Lions!
They're going to beat some people.
They're going to beat some people. I expect that. They're going to score enough points to beat some people because some people are going to have bad days on offense and defense, and the Lions will take advantage of it. But
going into the season, I just thought we'd be able to run the ball down people's throats. I didn't think we'd be able to throw the ball as well as Goff's shown that he can do. So, I don't know. Going forward, at least there's things to watch and look for improvement and hope. There's hope. At least I got one side of the ball figured out, which is more than I really thought they'd have in year 2 of Dan Campbell going forward. I would like to see him hire a game manager because some of the shit he was doing against Minnesota was god awful.
Not just him. The entire NFL does some really fucking coaches in general. What was okay? Just to get away from the Lions for a second. What was Harbaugh doing with the Ravens? Why was he going for it on 4th down and not kicking a field goal with what was it 3 minutes and change left? 3 minutes or almost 4 minutes in the game, and I thought, isn't he the smart brother? What was he? Okay, honestly, think about what he did. He kicks the field goal. You go up 3 late in the game. Then Josh Allen has to drive down the field to win it or tie. And instead, he goes for it on 4th down, doesn't get it. Josh Allen drives down the field. They kick a field goal. They win the game. Coaches
maybe didn't have any confidence in his kicker.
I don't care. It was a chippy. It wasn't even like they were that far.
It's Justin Tucker.
No,
man.
I'm know, kidding. But it just fucking. It's insane the amount of stupid shit that coaches do. Tucker did miss a field goal in that game, but
from where?
I don't even know. 40 something. It doesn't matter. Justin Tucker shouldn't miss. Justin Tucker's God. He doesn't miss.
I know. I understand that,
but
he wasn't going to miss it. He wasn't going to miss
that kick in that spot. He overthought it. But this is why, like you just said, these coaches need a guy whose sole job is to calculate time left, the average possession, whatever the other team's been doing all day, and say, this is what we need to do in this situation. Because the coach is busy with everything else, even though the coach should know. Common sense tells you kick the field goal and go up in that situation.
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, if you were winning, if you were up 3 or whatever already and you tried to go for the kill, okay, I'm fine with that. At least you're up and you're forcing them to go down the field and either have to tie or win. If I'm on Baltimore radio right now, it's like fucking, I'd be going shit batshit crazy too. But at least they know next week they're probably going to win, so it doesn't matter. When you're a Lions fan and you do stupid shit and you lose, the following week you got to win, and they never do.
Well, we'll get into it, I guess, because MCDC against Minnesota was just so bad. Goes for it on every 4th and short, 4th and medium even.
And then the end of the game.
And then the end of the game when he can get a 1st down to win the game. Kicks a 52-yard field goal.
With a kicker who he doesn't trust, who nobody trusts, whose career long is like 54.
Yeah.
It's some of the dumb shit. And then always going for 2. I don't understand this. Like he's fucking Chip Kelly at Oregon. MCDC is fucking out there. Oh, gotta go for 2. Gotta chase the game. He's chasing the game in the 3rd quarter.
Chase those points.
3rd quarter, and he's chasing the game. Like, what are you doing? I'm gonna make it. It
worked for him against Seattle.
Make it 10, and instead he's going. Oh, we gotta go for 2 and make it a 9-point game. Or it's just, what are you doing?
It worked out against Seattle, but it was the wrong.
It was the wrong because you don't start chasing the game in the 3rd. I hate coaches who chase the game. If your whole sole purpose is to go for 2 every time you score, the entire game starting in the 1st quarter to the end, then I'm okay with it. Because that's your plan. But if your plan is to start chasing a game with 3 minutes into the 3rd, because you're down...
That's your plan.
Because high school teams do it. The Lions aren't much better than a high school team, to be honest. So... I'm just saying, if you're Chip Kelly and your goal is once you cross the 50, you're going for it on 4th down, no matter what, you're doing it. Unless it's like you get penalties and you're backed up 4th and 80. But whatever.
4th and short, 4th and medium, go for it.
If that's what your confidence and that's your plan, then I'm fine with that. At least everybody knows that that's what you're doing. But when you go for it on 4th down every fucking time, and then you get late in the game, and squeaky bum time, and you decide that, oh, well, now I'm going to kick it.
We should kick the field
And
goal.
Jared Goff out there going, well, I wish we should have went for it, but I didn't know what we would have. I didn't know what we would have run.
If I would have told Coach, we would have gone. He would have gone.
But then he goes, and then in the next day,
I don't know what play to run.
I didn't know what play to run. What do you mean you don't know what play to run? You have I guess when you go for it on fourth down all day, you used all your fourth down plays, and he's probably like, which one are we going to pick from?
Yeah, but we
all used them all.
I know.
I'm being
there's no law against using them. There's no law against using those plays again.
Yeah, it's just being a Lions fan sucks.
It's been established.
So I had hopes. I had hopes coming into this year.
Onto the hoodie.
I finally had hopes.
I bought a Lions sweatshirt, man. I've never bought Lions gear in my life, except for a $3 pair of shorts I found at Kohl's one day.
I have a few shirts. I think I've worn them on the pod, but I don't buy a lot.
I figured you made those on your cricket.
No,
little cricket
those were
thing.
ones I purchased. But fuck, I don't even know. They gotta win this week again. It's like the Washington game all over again. It's a must win. They gotta beat the hoodie and Zappy or Hoyer. I don't care who it is. You can't lose to Geno Smith and Zappy or Hoyer in back-to-back fucking weeks.
There's no way with what's going on in the NFL with Tua and everything that you're going to see Brian Hoyer. You're not going to see Brian Hoyer this week.
It'll be Zappy or Mac Jones somehow gets miraculously better. I don't know if
take the needle.
But
what's he got? Back issues?
Ankle.
Oh, so same thing.
They can't. It's a must-win. Dan Campbell has another must-win, and it's week 5, and we're must-winning again. Like, it was a must-win against Washington. They went out and did it. It's a must-win this week to try and stay in the season, because if they go down, you can't be 1-4. Going into the bye, then they go to Miami. Tua's probably back by then. The schedule doesn't get any easier. They got lucky that Mac Jones was hurt. They got to take advantage of it. They got to go out and they got to beat them. And then they got the Cowboys with Cooper. They have 2 winnable games. We've been saying that all year. They have winnable games. They should have beat the Seahawks. The Seahawks should be a win. The Vikings should have been a win. But the Vikings I thought was a loss, though. I had that as a loss.
But they played.
But they played well enough to win. So now that should have been a win. The Seahawks should have been a win.
That was a throwaway game. I mean, they threw away a W there.
So
instead of eating it.
But these next games are all win. They all should have been winnable games. They should have beat the Seahawks with Geno Smith and the rest of the posse. I mean, DK Metcalf was the only guy, and they let DK Metcalf beat them. Well, Penny in, but.
Sorry, I can't think of DK Metcalf in any other capacity than him getting carted off the field to take a shit.
But now they're going to get the Patriots without their quarterback. Then they're going to get the Cowboys without their quarterback. And if Tua's not back, they're going to get the Dolphins without their quarterback. These are all games this season could have went such a different direction.
All the Michigan breaks right now.
But they're not taking advantage of any of it.
I know.
It's the opposite effect. You play these home games, you get these teams that are not doing great, and the Lions just can't seem to find ways to win. I don't know. But it's just, they got to do better. You can't have teams go out there and not punt. And not punt because they were going for it on fourth down. They just never got in a situation where they had to fucking punt. Insane.
You need your number 2 pick to get some pressures.
He's got to be better.
You got all these apologists out here, though, that keep finding any kind of stat that they can to fit their narrative of how good he is. Oh, he's got the most pressures of any rookie.
No, he's got to be better. Defense has to be better. Coaching staff's got to come up with a better scheme. If it's not working, you got to change shit. That's all I got for this. Like, I have nothing else on the Lions now. I'm tired of it. They can't lose this week. If it's Zappy and he goes out and chucks it all over the yard on him.
Seen that movie before in Michigan.
I just don't want to come on here next week and be like, oh great, we're 1-4. Heading into another season of not caring. Like, we don't. I at least wanted to be.
It's already there, man. I'm already there.
I'm close.
I'll have to admit.
I'm close, but I'm still getting angry, so I care. But there's going to come a
You're
point
more-
where it becomes I don't even care and I laugh. I'm hoping for stupid shit to happen and they lose because it becomes just a joke. Yep.
Saw that lucky on something came across the wire.
I don't know if we're still live or not. We might have got
Breaking news.
We might have got
Oh.
disconnected. We'll see.
40
I don't
minutes,
know.
30 minutes ago.
We'll see. I don't know. It just popped on. Anyways, we just can't have that happen all the time.
Great.
And we're on to New England.